Do you ever feel invisible, even around friends? You're sitting right there, in the room, at the table, part of the conversation. You laugh at the jokes, you participate, you smile. You're physically present in every way. But nobody notices how heavy your heart feels. Nobody asks if you're okay, the real kind of okay, not the "how are you" small talk. Nobody sees that you're drowning right in front of them. And the worst part, you don't even blame them, because you're performing so well. You've gotten so good at seeming fine that even the people who love you can't tell the difference between your real smile and your mask. Loneliness doesn't need an empty room, it hides in crowds. It sits next to you at parties where you know everyone. It follows you to family dinners. It shows up at work during team meetings. It's there when you're surrounded by people, when your phone is full of contacts, when your calendar is busy. Because loneliness isn't about being alone, it's about feeling unseen, unknown, like you could disappear and nobody would notice the specific shape of the hole you left behind. You're there, but you're not really there. You exist, but you don't feel like you matter. You speak, but you don't feel heard. And that's a special kind of painful that people don't talk about enough. The loneliness of being surrounded by people and still feeling completely alone. Let me tell you what this looks like in real life. You're at dinner with friends. Everyone's laughing, telling stories, making plans. You're laughing too, nodding, contributing when there's an opening. But inside you feel like you're watching through glass, like you're there but not really connected. Like if you left right now, the conversation would continue without missing a beat. You're at work. Your team is celebrating something. Everyone's excited, high-fiving, making jokes. You join in. You say the right things, but you feel separate, like you're playing a role in their movie instead of living your own life. You're texting with family. Everyone's sharing updates, photos, memes. You respond with emojis and haha and miss you too. But nobody asks how you're really doing. Nobody digs deeper than the surface. Nobody sees the weight you're carrying. And you think, I'm surrounded by people who care about me. Why do I feel so alone? Because caring about you and seeing you are two different things. People can love you and still miss you. People can be right next to you and still not notice you're struggling. Not because they're bad people, not because they don't care, but because you've learned to hide so well that even the people closest to you can't find you anymore. So let me say this clearly, because I need you to really hear it. You are seen, even if it doesn't feel that way. Not by everyone. Maybe not by the people you wish would see you, but you're seen by someone, somewhere, in ways you might not even realize. The person you smiled at in the grocery store who was having a terrible day, they saw you. The friend who texted you out of nowhere because you crossed their mind, they saw you. The stranger on the internet reading your comment and thinking, me too, they saw you. You matter to more people than you know. Your absence would create a hole. Your presence makes a difference, even when it doesn't feel like it. But here's what matters more than being seen by others. Do you see yourself? Because if you don't, if you're walking through your life invisible even to yourself, then no amount of external validation will fill that hole. You can't wait for other people to notice you. You can't depend on them to validate your existence. You have to do that work yourself. So here's what needs to happen. Not eventually, not when you feel better. Tonight. Start by acknowledging yourself. Not your accomplishments, not your productivity, not what you did for other people today. Just you, the person you are. The human being who showed up today, even though it was hard. Look in the mirror and say, I matter. I know. It feels stupid. It feels cheesy. It feels like the kind of thing you'd roll your eyes at in a self-help book. Do it anyway. Stand in front of the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. and say it. I matter. Say it until it feels real in your chest. Not in your head. Your head will fight you. Your head will list all the reasons it's not true. Your head will tell you you're being dramatic or self-indulgent or ridiculous. Ignore your head. Feel for the moment when it shifts from words you're saying to truth you're feeling. That moment when your chest opens a little, when your shoulders drop, when something inside you says, yes, that's the moment you're aiming for. Small affirmations change your perspective. Not overnight, not dramatically, but they create a shift, a small crack in the belief that you don't matter, a tiny space for a different truth to grow. I matter. My presence is valuable. My feelings are valid. My voice deserves air. You don't have to believe them all the way. You just have to be willing to say them, to let them exist, to give them space in your mind alongside all the other voices telling you you're not enough. Your presence is valuable. Not because of what you do, not because of how useful you are, or how much you contribute, or how well you perform, just because you're here, because you exist, because there's only one you, and that matters. Your feelings are valid, even the messy ones, even the inconvenient ones, even the ones that don't make logical sense. You feel what you feel. That's data, that's information, that's your humanity showing up. It doesn't need to be justified or explained or made more palatable for other people. Your voice deserves air. What you have to say matters. Your perspective matters. Your experience matters. You don't need permission to speak. You don't need to wait until you have something profound or perfect. Your regular, everyday, imperfect thoughts are worth sharing. You don't need anyone else to validate you. Would it be nice? Yes. Would it help? Sure. But you can't wait for it. You can't build your sense of worth on whether other people notice you or understand you or appreciate you the way you want to be appreciated. Because people are distracted. People are dealing with their own stuff. People miss things. People fail to show up. And if your worth depends on their attention, you'll spend your whole life feeling invisible. You are enough just as you are. Not when you lose weight, not when you get the promotion, not when you're more social or more successful or more whatever you think you need to be. Right now, today, in your messy, imperfect, still figuring it out state, you're enough. Recognize your worth daily. Not as a one-time realization, not as something you figure out and then it's done. As a practice, as something you choose every single day. Some days it'll feel true. Some days it'll feel like a lie you're forcing yourself to believe. Both are okay. You're not trying to feel it perfectly. You're just trying to remember it, to remind yourself, to create a different narrative than the one that says you're invisible and you don't matter. Let that truth guide you. Let it change how you move through the world. Let it change what you're willing to tolerate. Let it change how you talk to yourself. Let it change who you give your energy to. When you believe you matter, you stop accepting treatment that says you don't. You stop hiding yourself to make other people comfortable. You stop shrinking so you don't take up space. You take up the space you deserve. You ask for what you need. You walk away from situations where you feel invisible instead of contorting yourself to be seen. I need to know something, and I need you to be honest about this. What makes you feel unseen most days? Is it your family not asking how you really are? Is it your friends making plans without you? Is it your partner not noticing when you're struggling? Is it work treating you like you're replaceable? Is it feeling like you could scream and nobody would hear you? Share below. It might help someone feel recognized. Because when you name what makes you feel invisible, two things happen. 1. You stop carrying it alone. You make it visible. You give it language. You let it be real instead of this vague, heavy feeling you can't explain. 2. Someone else reads it and thinks, "Oh my God, me too." And suddenly they feel a little less invisible, a little less alone, a little less like they're the only one. We're all in this together. All of us feeling unseen in different ways. All of us carrying this loneliness that doesn't make sense because we're surrounded by people. All of us trying to figure out how to matter in a world that makes us feel disposable. But we see each other. We recognize each other. And maybe that's where it starts. If you've ever felt invisible, if you feel it right now, subscribe. We're building something here where your presence matters, where your voice counts, where you don't have to perform to belong. Share below, subscribe. Your voice matters here. Tonight, look in the mirror, say it. I matter. Even if you don't believe it yet, say it anyway. You do matter, more than you know.